Hi everyone, welcome back to Senshi's Luxury Lounge. So last time we had a lot of fun and this time it's going to be even better. So we have Tamanna Tanveer with us. I have written down her bio because she's done so many wonderful things and it's very hard for me to keep up. So she's a true fashion and lifestyle powerhouse straight out of Bangalore. From slaying screens as an actor to fronting major brand campaigns, she's done it all. But that's not where it stops. She's also the brains behind some of the most iconic fashion and lifestyle events. Basically, if it's stylish, exclusive, and culture defining, she's on it. And of course, she's a wonderful person and she can speak a lot of things today, which we're going to listen to. So, welcome on the show. We're very happy to have you.
Thanks, Gitanjali, for having me here. It's been amazing. The times that we have had, I think we should have had the camera recording already. You know, all the laughs and we already have that established comfort level, even though technically we are meeting properly for the first time.
Yeah, we haven't had time to actually sit and chat. Like I said, it's a long list and she's always busy. Plus, she's a mom. Can you believe her doing everything and looking so fabulous?
Thank you so much.
Sure.
You're one yourself now. You'll figure it out.
Thank you. So we're back at Botany. So again, we love this place and we're back here and a great view as well. So now we're going to ask Tamanna some fabulous questions and wait to see what she says. So here's the first one coming to you. So you interact with Bangalore's luxury audience literally on a daily basis, right? So what are they craving right now in fashion, luxury?
I think Bangalore's luxury audience has really changed over the years. One of the things that I do love about the city, and that's actually problem that brands come to me with at work, is that Bangalore's luxury is quite luxury. They're not in your face with the logos. They prefer, things a little more. They're not maximalists. They're minimalists.
Yeah.
And any brand who is, in pursuit of getting people to use their product, they are hoping for people who want to splurge, who want to buy. But Bangalore, I think we are good spenders that way. We spend where needed and we aren't going all out. We just can't be fooled by a brand that's claiming today to be luxury. We want to. And I noticed this, that Bangalore's audience is veering more and more towards luxury that actually stands for quality versus luxury that's just available and out there. And I think I personally love that shift.
That quiet luxury bit was wonderful. In fact, that is something that even Senshi is trying to do and growing into it. So when you talk about quiet luxury, what do you mean by that? What do you feel comes into it?
So for me, quiet luxury is something that is quality. It's durable, it's long lasting, it feels good to you as the person wearing it. So if something is uncomfortable, if something is gonna rip with just one or two wears, it doesn't matter the price that you're paying for it. Of course, that hurts. If you're wearing something really expensive and that's you see the in one wear. And some of these brands weren't meant for Indian footpath and Indian roads. Like imagine you're wearing your expensive designer heels, you wear them once on Indian roads, and that's it. They're like in a shape you can't wear them again. So I feel like definitely luxury is durability, comfort, and things that feel good. They enhance your already present state. You can imagine if it's a jacket and if it's not feeling comfortable once you wear it, it doesn't matter which brand it's from.
That's true.
It cannot be luxury, or the price tag just cannot today define luxury, I feel.
Yeah. So more understated than
Yes.
statement.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So what actually moves people emotionally at any luxury event or launch or any of the curated things that you do? What moves them?
I think one of the things that I love doing, I love people. And I understand that we are social creatures at the end of the day. And what I try to curate at my events per se, whether they are, most of my events are catering to a premium or a luxurious mindset, is that I'm catering for people who can come together well. People who feel like they belong when they're in that crowd and they feel comfortable. I often introduce people to people they have never met, and I'm like, hey, you two should meet each other. And I think people love that, because as adults, where do you make friends? You tell me. I have to say, there was a time I could make friends in a nightclub, but I'm not the nightclub person making friends. I'm like in a nightclub, I'm more like, bored. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be. But washrooms have been my number one place.
Oh yeah,
The ladies' washroom, and you're like, you suddenly see this person who's dressed very well, you give them a compliment, suddenly they become lifelong friends.
Yes.
Some of my best friendships have been born there. But I look at events and the events that I've done over the years as places where people can actually get to know each other. And when you have that comfort, when you know you're coming to an event and you're welcome to network, welcome to socialize. And the other aspect, the brand aspect, is a tertiary thing. So every brand I work with is getting something else on board, right? Like some brands will do cocktails, some brands will do certain kind of nibbles, there might be activities. Something that I'm doing next week has yoga in it because the brand is associated with mindfulness. But what is interesting at the end of the day is that people come out and sometimes they are coming by themselves, but when they walk back, they have memories. They have made new friends. And I think that's the part that I enjoy about my own events.
I agree. In fact, the last one that you invited me, that was a Ritu Kumar launch event. I made a few friends.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
And thanks to the dress that I bought. In fact, it was a conversation starter. If you remember, people just started talking about it. Even at the counter, a lot of them just came, oh, that's such a lovely one that you picked up and the stuff. So it was a lovely time. And yes, you are right. It is it's a great place to meet people and make friendships as well.
Yeah, and I think that's what events should be. Like, we step out, we want to meet people. And I think I'm so glad you had a great time.
I had a great time. I think I've been raving about it to you multiple times already, but truly I did.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Okay, so now let's look at a little bit of how brands think as well. So how does a brand earn trust in these elite circles? Like you just had a Ritu Kumar event, you have one coming up next week, and of course you have others as well. Ritu Kumar one stood out for me, hence I'm mentioning it again. So how do they earn the trust? Of course, Ritu Kumar has been around for so many years. So newer brands, how do they earn the trust in these circles?
I have to say one thing that I do online or with my events or with anything that I associate myself with is I feel like I have the responsibility as the person who is marketing these events or talking about products on my page to be responsible. So I do not associate myself with a brand or a client, or if an aerated beverage brand comes to me, and because I do talk about health on my social media, I will take a stand, and I've taken a stand and refused paid work and paid collabs with multiple brands. There was a seltzer brand, I didn't enjoy the taste. I sent the product back and I offered to pay for the shipping, as well as the one bottle that I consumed out of I don't know if it was 12 or 24. Tomorrow they might have a different product. But if I can't enjoy something, I don't want to be selling it. If I think something is not good for my own consumption, I don't want to be talking about it. I think today when a brand has not established themselves, finding a spokesperson who is an actual user, who loves their brand, is the best way. And you know what's the amazing thing that I love about the events that I've hosted, and including the events that I have this month? One of the events was for the workout space that I've been working out for a year and a half. The other was Ritu Kumar, a brand I love and adore.
Yeah.
My next event is for this brand called Aveda. They stand for Green Conscious Beauty, and I absolutely love their products. I've been using them for a while. After that, I'm working with another brand whose events and products I absolutely adore. So I feel like when you personally enjoy that, and then you invite people, I can actually feel that. I think it's an energy that is sent out that's different versus doing it for just any brand. So I do have brands who I've never heard of, and they reach out to me, and I'm just like, it's not just about commercials, It's about personally feeling excited to work. And for a new brand, I think that's what I would say. To build brand trust is probably one of the hardest things. And one is, of course, how they build it online, offline, but to find people who become raving customers. I think that's the key.
That's true. I mean, a lot of respect for you to actually say no to a brand which you don't believe in or you don't use yourself. So that a lot of respect for that. So do you see Indian consumers being more educated now in brands or luxury, or do you see them evolving, feeling what you are feeling, like how you have specific connections to brands? Do you see that with the audience as well?
I definitely. I mean, I think with the Ritu Kumar event, there were so many people who came and said, Ritu Kumar was my first designer purchase, and I'm so glad you called me here today. Most people, and this is one thing that brands actually don't recognize, acquisition is one thing. You acquire a customer, but how do you keep them loyal to you?
Yeah.
And that's quality. When you stand for quality, when you show up, when you give that after sales service, if you reach out to them with an issue or a problem, or you bought a product, you need a resize, and you feel like, oh my God, they were there with me not just at the point of purchase. They weren't like, okay, you have now bought from me, tata, bye bye. I have your money and I really don't care. But you feel like they're actually interested in you, for you, and are not looking at you as a dispensable resource, is when you build that trust. I think quality and great service.
So do you think that is what would be a psychological trigger for someone to say, okay, this brand is for me. I feel we belong.
No, I feel like you actually attract the audience that the product sets out. So one is, an industry could entirely, of course, not take off well, or a brand may not do well if they don't provide these. But the second is, I think you attract your tribe. So if you are providing quality, if you are available for people who have bought from you, even afterwards, if you're comfortable with sort of owning, like imagine you send something and there's a missing button and you own it, instead of being like, yes, but when we sent it, it was there, I think those things are, it will attract your tribe.
Yeah.
It will. And I think it's in every business and in every brand. The mindset at the top is what trickles through, and you can see it. And I think I can see it in every space, in F&B, in Alcobev, like whatever is the mindset of the top leaders, of the top decision makers, whatever their attitude towards people, towards, I've seen brands that are very, very money centric, and they're just like, we just want to earn money. Doesn't matter if people are happy, not happy, whether they want to become a repeat customer or not. Like, they're so money centric. That's the kind of people they're going to attract. They're not going to attract loyal, loving consumers who will go back to them again and again.
That's true. Okay, so now a little bit about you. So tell us about your style and your choice of luxury in life. So, I mean, when I say luxury, not just what you wear or what you carry, what you like in life in general.
I think over the past few years, I've started associating, health a lot with luxury. So when it comes to wearing, I've just become more mindful of what is in contact with me, the kind of fabric. It should feel good. And I realized that your body is actually subtly telling you when something is not good for you. So I know I would get like sort of these gel nails done, and I got them done only a few times. I would see my nails get spoiled afterwards.
Yeah.
And recently European Union banned gel nails.
They did, yeah.
Because they hamper with endocrine system, reproductive system. So, I'm wearing these ones which are like just simple stick on and peel off, and I feel like that's something that feels good, something that looks good, something that is good for you on the inside, and need not be the most priciest product. Although I feel like in certain areas, like clothing, like if you see brands that are, on the more premium segment, there are brands that are my go-to if I'm looking for that glove perfect fit. And they do have, they fit like I got them tailored on my body. So I think these are the things that I look for. I love most of the clothes that I wear, of course, are high street or Zara and Forever New and all of these things. I'm a big sucker for accessories. The only thing that I do spend on is my watches. I love spending on watch, and I think that's my statement piece. My watch is my statement piece.
Okay.
That I would have spent on. But besides that, overall in my look, I'm not a sort of brand-driven person who is buying only because brand.
It has to belong. It has to be a part of you and carry.
Yeah, and also it's got to be something that I find interesting. I look a lot for standout pieces, that go with the kind of line of work that I'm in. That go with, and I think that's become a choice. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I found those standout pieces. You can find them in a flea market. I remember I bought something online. These were just like really cute They look like mother of pearl, but I got one online. Then I picked up the set. Acrylic.
Yeah.
So the whole set might be for like $500.
Oh.
It's earrings. It's a choker. And it looks gorgeous. Like if I wear it everywhere, people think it's mother of pearl. They adore it, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, literally loved it. Bought it off the street, and it looks stunning. So it's definitely not something that you have to go in for. And I think here's the catch. The recent expose on fashion brands and their production in China
Yeah.
did bring this to forefront that what a lot of us think and define as luxury is a primal human instinct. We all have a need to belong, right? Like we all have a need to belong to a certain tribe. So imagine we are in a city with different tribes and all of us live together. Now, how do I say this is my tribe?
Yeah.
You cannot sit and have a long discussion. We might connect, we might talk, and we might be like, okay, these are my faith, these are my beliefs, these are my value system, and oh my God, you and me are so amazingly like-minded that we are friends and now we are a tribe.
Yeah.
You don't get that time and you don't get that depth of information from people, and most people are making superficial connect, and brands really help. So
Yeah.
this is where brands come in. When you see someone carrying a brand that you know you afford, you like, you adore, you're like, okay, this person comes from my socioeconomic tribe. So this is where those monogram bags and everything that we say, or in general what people understand luxury, plays a very important role in sort of human behavior.
Yeah.
Is a social identifier. Is I belong to this tribe. This is how I can afford this. And I wouldn't say for everything luxury.
Yeah.
There is a certain point to which it is about quality. You know, a bag that's for 30,000 because it's made out of premium leather. But when you see a bag that's, for 10 lakhs, it's not just that. You remove the logo and see if the person still wants to buy it for that value.
Yeah, that is a good question, actually.
Yeah.
What do you think? So let's say one bag which is 10 lakhs and you don't see the logo. What is the first thing you would look at the bag? How would you judge that, leaving the price?
You would see the stitching and the leather quality, and most likely if the logo had been removed and if there was no identifier, you would come up with a reasonable value as to the craftsmanship and the work that's gone in it, and that is what you would use to assume the price of it. But when we are talking about how it works in social identification, it's not just women behavior. In community, it's about sneakers.
Yeah.
They wear sneakers, and these sneakers aren't cheap.
They are very expensive.
They are very expensive. They're very expensive, and again, they're working like social identifiers.
Yeah.
Because men have very less going for them in the luxury space. You can't. Men don't want to be monogram. They have a reluctance towards being monogram in general, but also there's very less for men that they can utilize as. And I think a man's biggest, luxury is his partner.
That is true.
The most expensive thing he owns.
That's true. I monitor that. Yeah, that is true. Lovely. So, I mean, you've been working for so many years. You're in the middle of, curating events, brands, and you're in an absolute sweet spot, right? And of course, the beauty, the elite circle. I mean, I'm talking about your beauty, of course, yeah. And you have a little kid. So that's a lot of things put together, and to look so wonderful. How do you do it? How do you go about it?
One of the things that I was clear about before I had my son, there's something called time affluence. I think it will probably come up again in our conversation. I noticed my parents are very hardworking. My dad's in the he retired from the Air Force. My mom was in the school side. She was a teacher, then a principal, and now she's a school director. Would be home every evening, and they would be with us sort of most of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like we would eat our breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
And I saw not everyone around me had that. Not my cousins didn't have that. My friends didn't have that. They didn't have both parents available for them. And I think as a mom, I realize that the work I do allows me to have the freedom that I have, and how can I play both parts. So in equally, like, this is season time, it's going to be really busy for me, and it's about wearing many hats at the same time. Keeping myself centered is really important, so I make sure I start my day with meditation. I think breathing in and just being calm about whatever you're going to do versus flustered, your productivity is actually more. If I said I'm on a treadmill, I have to do this, I would be wearing myself down. So I also, short of sounding unambitious, I also bite how much I want to eat and not shy away from saying no to things that are not aligned to me. I think being a mom kind of also focuses you into, this is what brings me maximum joy. This is what brings me maximum peace.
Yeah.
Like today, I hope nobody listening to this and none of my friends take it badly. My son's home. They cancelled school for some reason, sports day or something. And the younger ones are all at home. If a friend said, let's catch up for cocktails and a meal, I would say no. But we had made this commitment. I was looking forward to this.
Thank you.
So this is my reason.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes prioritizing what needs to be done, but not sort of drowning yourself in guilt in the process.
Yeah.
And I think as a mom, it takes a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out.
I'm not even halfway there. You know, I think the last time we spoke, I told you I'm doing some 50 things, and you told me, yeah, I used to. Now I've figured out, slow down and do lesser things and have more time to enjoy each of those things.
Yeah. I think when I was young and I came into this industry, and a lot of ladies told me, and the number one advice that I got was, you know what, they grow up so fast. And so it kind of stuck to me, because I was like, one day I'm not going to be able to carry him, and I think it's coming soon. One day I'm not going to have this moment with him. I just want to make sure that I never look back and say, and I think that's my motto even in life, like I never want to look back and say I could have, done this differently. Whether it's with work, whether it's with him, so I do make choices from that place, but I'm not a maximalist trying to squeeze in 20,000 things at one go. Somehow it just falls in. I really believe that when you start out with, meditation, just being zen about your day and about the things you have at hand, you get more done.
Okay, I'm going to try that tomorrow.
Also, I work after he goes to sleep. That's-
That I do. Okay. So now I would like to do a really fun session called the Rapid Fire. Of course, we know who else runs that session, but ours is going to be more fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So you know the rules. One word, 2 words, a phrase at the most, because we want to keep it rapid and full of fire. Like somebody says, I do not want to say the name.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the first one. So luxury in 1 word.
Growth mindset.
So this is a tricky one, gold or diamonds?
I'm an Indian. Gold, of course.
Understated or statement?
Understated internally, statement because of work. All the time.
One luxury brand that never fails.
It's about makeup these days for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm loving Charlotte Tilbury.
Oh, I love that. The foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. A trend that needs to die.
Please don't hate me if you're watching this, and I hope to not trigger people, but Botox. I feel like people are beginning to look the same. The fillers and the Botox, I think it's not looking so good.
Yeah.
I really wish that trend goes away soon.
Enjoy the natural self a bit.
Yeah, and I think there are enhancements you can do without injectables. Maybe looking for alternatives. There is nothing that can replace good sleep, a healthy diet, but sort of going in for those chin fillers, cheek fillers, lip fillers, it's just looking too much these days to me.
A luxury sin you cannot tolerate.
Too many monograms.
Yeah. Okay. So most overrated luxury thing that people hype.
Most overrated. Handbags.
Ah, okay. Your personal luxury. So time, space, or items.
My personal luxury is, we said that word, and I said, we're going to come back to it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Time affluence. There's nothing more important. And peace. I don't think having any of these actually really matters if you don't have peace. I'm sorry, I forgot this is rapid fire. But,
Yeah. No, I
a
get your
good
point.
mind that is not overthinking.
Yeah.
Just a mind you can live in.
Yeah.
Cultivating that mind.
Yeah.
I think that's actually true luxury.
That's true. Something that instantly elevates a look.
Big accessories and a big bright lip. I think if you have nothing, you just smack on some lipstick and just some statement pieces.
Yeah. So one thing people misunderstand about luxury.
Okay, so the one thing people misunderstand about luxury is that the price tag is what is defining luxury, or the fact that this brand has been around and everybody says so is what makes it luxury. I think coming to the realization that what works for you, what feels good to you, what you enjoy personally should be luxury first.
Yeah. I'm going to take that advice. I love it. Now, in the last segment, we have 3 secret questions. She has no idea that this was coming. Now she has a smile. So we have 3 questions, and now let's see if she can read my handwriting.
Or I will try to look. I couldn't read anything.
Oh, it's all secret questions. Get it? Okay. So she's going to open each. I'm guessing she'll be a little shocked, but let's see what she would answer. This is
Okay,
the
let
first
me read these out to you. Wow. Okay, which luxury product have you spent the most on? Tell us in INR. So over the years, I would have spent on different things. The most expensive being jewelry and watches, but my most recent one was my Dyson hair thing. I was like, wow, I can't believe it, but every bit worth the money.
Okay, she still didn't tell us the INR, so we'll excuse her on that. Okay, this is the second secret question.
Which celebrity have you met and fangirled over? Here's the thing, I don't fangirl. Okay, I don't have crushes. No, I see everyone as another person. So yeah,
That's a good way to look at it.
yeah. I always found Milan someone cute when I was growing up.
Yeah, he used to be.
Yeah, I think he still is for a lot of women. Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one.
Biggest faux pas in fashion that I've made.
Yes.
Looking back, I really hate the skinny eyebrow period. Why did we did that?
Yeah.
I had like skinniest pencil eyebrows. You have no idea about how long it took for me to kind
Grow
of
the
get
back?
Yeah. It's a lot of castor oil and tears in the night. Super glossy tight curls. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, those glossy tight curls. Why? It looked like Goldilocks but with black hair. If you give me some time, I'll definitely think of it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking of all the looks that I would have done over the years, and the ones I'd be like, oh my god, cringe.
Yeah, that's a lot of years of beautiful looks with some little bit of cringe. Trust me, I've seen how wet she dresses.
Yeah, I think what the one thing that I've over the years practiced is that it's okay to be overdressed, but you definitely don't want to show up somewhere underdressed, because the times that I've gone somewhere underdressed is the only time that I feel sort of, I wish I just took that extra few minutes and took the time to do my makeup if I show up somewhere, and then, because it just feels like being underdressed, whether you step out in home clothes and then your friends show up, and
Yeah,
I think you just want to feel good.
absolutely.
So becoming a maximalist.
So that was fun. So, in the spirit of other secret,
We have a lot of
Questions.
secrets going on.
yeah, so we're done with the secret part of it. Now we have something special for you for, giving us your time, giving us your inputs, and being such a fun sport with the secret questions and the rapid fire.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see what this is.
Should I start? Should I say?
So gorgeous.
Okay.
It is so good.
So this is for you, and it's a little bit of senshi in there from me.
I love accessories. I have to say this. I think accessories are the single most way you can sort of transform a look, and I've been waiting to see what your brand's all about. I didn't know we were going to be out with it already. Oh my god, I love these. This is the current collection.
The new collection is launching only in Jan end.
Do I give people a little closer look?
Yeah, I think that's just not picked properly.
I mean, check this out. It's so pretty and so versatile. I absolutely love it. And now I have a little piece of senshi too. Oh, I love love the cute little box that you've curated for me. I saw something with flowers in the back.
Yeah, and I was
like,
hoping you don't.
no, I love flowers and I love the box that you put together with chocolates, coffee, and this personalized handwritten note. It's really cute. It's adorable.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're bringing this conversation to forefront, and I feel like people in general do need a thought shift about what luxury is. They need to hear what other people say, because as influencers, as people in this space, I realize that a lot of people look up. I would say half of what I own is just high street. It's not really branded and luxury. And this jacket that I'm wearing today is Zara. I just wait and buy things that have that luxury vibe and feel, but they're high street. And I feel like people need to understand what luxury means. It's about understanding yourself and what sets yourself apart. And that's a conversation that you're doing here. So thanks so much. And thank you for having me in this really cute basket that I'm going to treasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be special. You curate things for everyone. It was time someone did that for you.
You did it really well.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being on the show, on this episode. I had a lot of fun, and I'm sure everyone watching did. I hope you enjoyed as well.
I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.